अजून नो प्रॉब्लेम. डिझाईन ओके. देन इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरर ओके. देन उसका स्पेसिफिकेशन होगा हाइट, लेंथ, विड्थ ओके. देन कौन सा मटेरियल यूज किया है ओके. ऑल मटेरियल स्पेसिफिकेशन. और क्या हो सकता है? क्लिनिकल ट्रायल प्रोटोकॉल. दीज आर इन सेक्शन 5 ओके. और यूसेज गाइडलाइंस हाउ टू यूज ओके. और हाँ सबमिशन ही करना है अपने को. ये क्या क्या करोगे? लाइक कैप है उसका स्पेसिफिकेशन, बॉटल है इसका स्पेसिफिकेशन, लाइक दिस थिंग. और टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन. मेन चीज बनाते कैसे? मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस. प्रोसेस तो बना ली, उसका कंट्रोल कैसे करेंगे? क्यूसी टेस्टिंग. नेक्स्ट how to assure our product, quality assurance during manufacturing. Then guidelines. Then validation. Process validation होगा, not a device validation. Okay. All this information are in the technical documents. Then we are going to regulate submission for regulatory. In regulatory submission, prepare and submit that dossier or technical document, compile all this information and submit to regulatory body like US and Europe. Okay. CE marking just as said for Europe it is necessary. If you have filed a medical device to the Europe market, we have to get the CE mark approval. Who is given that? Who is given that CE approval? In Europe, notified bodies. We get approval from the notified bodies. There are different notified bodies. What are that notified bodies? In Europe, there are 27 countries. Okay? And each country have a respective person. They form an organization. Then organization is called as a notified body. It is only applicable for medical device. They review your dossier, they review your technical document, and then if you have any concern, they reach out to you again. You have to solve all the consequences. Then only you get the approval. That I have told that QMS. Established QMS that adhere to the ISO 1485 to maintain the compliance throughout the device life cycle. Review and approval, that is engage with the regulator for the feedback and guidance to ensure the successful approval of your device. The next is post-market surveillance. These are the common global regulatory device. If you are working in the regulatory affair, you have to note all these things. Like for Europe, key component of technical document like in the report, cover page and administrative information you shall to include. Then device description and specification, design and manufacturing information, risk management file, general safety performance requirement, preclinical testing data, clinical evaluation, then post surveillance, labeling and instruction for use. Labeling is another big part. There is a separate team working for the labeling. There is a separate team work for the filing. There is a separate team work for the query response in regulatory affairs department. And if you have to file this, there is another one team publishing. They only publish this, all this dossier, technical document into this. Okay? Like previously sir, submission, this is the EU MDR 2070/745 overview. Where require the manufacturer to maintain the technical document to demonstrate the compliance. essential for CE marking and market access in the Europe. Structure of technical document, if you want to know, you have to go the Annex 2 and 3 of EU MDR, where you get all the details about the technical document. What is the procedure to get CE approval? First, compile this technical document. Second, submit to the notified body. Okay? Notified body review and confirm the assessment. CE marking grant upon approval and maintain the update TD throughout the product life cycle. This is a main responsibility. Then again, technical documentation for you. I have summarized in short way. Same cover page, administrative information, include manufacturer details, name, classification level, device description, design and manufacturing information, risk management, testing data, and post-market surveillance. These are the life cycle. Just it includes the concept and design, then regulatory approval, manufacturing and quality control, market authorization and distribution, and post-market surveillance. In clinical data, clinical trial protocol is there. Whenever you have to perform the clinical study, you have to get approval of your clinical trial protocol from the agency only. It is not like that you have prepared protocol and doing the testing. You have to get approval from the agency only. Then only you can work on the clinical testing. Secondly, summary of safety and effectiveness data. Then comparison with predictive device like 510K and post-market clinical follow-up. The last is summary and takeaway on medical device registration. You have to carry out the risk-based classification. Second, you have to identify the regulatory framework like Europe, US. Then you have to submit the technical documentation, and last, post-market surveillance. These are all the activity has been done by regulatory affairs personnel of pharma. Then last. Thank you. Anyone have any question? Please you can ask. Just there is lots of time, therefore I have wondered so quickly.
Yeah, if you have a drug device combination, so how will that dossier be looked like? Will you say go to CPD as well as how it is?
That is for US there is a pathway. It is a combination. Then it's like an class 3. Okay. Then you have to file the go with this pathway, having all the information on this. I am not actually working on the combination of this.
Right. I also don't have it because I am working for the core medical device, not drug device.
Not the device. Anyone? Yes, please.
In DTA, we just divided into nominated, elected member, just like in notified body, which persons are included?
The notified body means it's general. In Europe, there are 27 countries, okay. And for our drug product, there is another sir has present this like different bodies are there, okay. But for medical device, we have to go through MDR regulation. By this under, there is a notified body. This notified body having each responsible person from each country, and they are as a notified body who going to evaluate our technical document.
Which persons they are responsible?
They are having the experience on the medical device, all these persons.
In India, you have
In India, no, I don't have. In CDS law now they are copying the all EU guidelines and somewhat EU guidelines, and they are working on the same. Yes. Any question? Last? Then, thank you. Please.
Thank you so much, K K Wagh sir, for your insightful session on medical device regulation, submission and medical device life cycle. move forward before taking too much time. I request Dr. D.D. Patil sir to come forward and present token of appreciation. Okay, thank you so much, sir. We will now take lunch break. Our lunch is planned in our canteen area. Our M.Pharm students and staff assisting you to go there in canteen area. Okay, we will see at sharp 3 p.m. Okay. Mr. Amit Patil as a resource person. It is a great pleasure to introduce Mr. Amit Patil, an accomplished expert in pharmaceutical analytics, data science and machine learning with over 13 years of experience in the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry. Currently leading the data sciences and strategy team under Applied Intelligence, Life Sciences at Accenture Solutions Limited, Mumbai, Mr. Patil has worked extensively with top pharmaceutical companies across the US and EMA. His expertise includes advanced analytics, AI-driven drug development, regulatory compliance and digital transformation in healthcare industry. Previously, he has held key leadership roles at Novo Nordisk, TCS, Wockhardt Research Center and Munta Labs, where he contributed significantly to drug discovery, market intelligence and clinical trial analytics. Beyond his corporate contributions, he is an active speaker at academic conferences, a guest lecturer and a writer on drug discovery and data science topics. His passion for innovation and research has led to several international publications and presentations in the field of pharmaceuticals. We are honored to have him with us today and we look forward to his insights. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Amit Patil with a warm round of applause. I request Dr. R.D. Ambedkar to please felicitate Mr. Amit Patil. Thank you so much, sir. Now I please request you to take over the session.
Hello. Am I audible? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for introducing me. As Maurice sir said, industry people don't listen such long introductions. So thank you for that. Just adding to what ma'am said, so I was previously working with Wockhardt. I was with Wockhardt for almost 10 years. And if you people have read in the publications or in the newspaper, India is launching its first antibiotic in Indian market as well as in global market. So I was part of that team. It's a proud moment because you have seen Sachin sir explained how TDS, a critical drug development process is. But in that drug development process, if you have some contribution and which is getting noted at global level, so I think that needs to be mentioned. So I have mentioned that particular part, and through that I want to say, like, innovation has no alternative. So we have to continuously innovate to keep our profession alive. Okay. So with this, I'll start my presentation. Basically, I'm going to focus on the role of AI and ML because Maurya sir made my life slightly easy by already introducing few terms, explaining how that technological interventions are really shaping up the new avenues in our field. So I'll try to give some brief idea what it is, and I'll stick to the topic, what is our session's topic is. In that, how regulatory considerations are really needs to be taken care of. So I'll discuss those aspects also. So coming back to what Maurya sir said, so we all already in the era of artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence? Anybody who can tell how we are already using artificial intelligence in our day-to-day life? Any thoughts? Any ideas? No? You don't know or you don't want to say? Everyone? Okay. So Netflix everybody know, right? Yeah. So you know artificial intelligence is already there in your life. Most of the time if you have observed that you open that particular app and you watched a movie or a documentary which you don't want to, okay, but you really liked it. How it is? Because what you have watched previously, that data they have stored in their memory. Based on that, one algorithm is working. They are deciding, you are not deciding, they are deciding what you should watch, and based on that they are putting the content in front of you. This is what is happening with not just Netflix, that is same thing is happening with Facebook. The ads which you are watching, those ads are nothing but what you have clicked throughout your day. Based on that, that ad and everything is getting optimized, and that content only they are showing to you. So like this, if Facebook, Netflix, these apps are using artificial intelligence, then why not medical devices? Because it is required to diagnose the diseases, it is required to prevent diseases or disorders. For that we need data, and to some extent we need these devices to collect this data also, so that we can process it and we can use it for our other usages as well. So what are those uses? I'll go into details of what why we are talking about this. So next slide please. Yeah, these are the agenda points. So I'll just give brief introduction. I know you people have heard what is medical device. I know you people have heard what is regulations, why is the need, and all that stuff. But I just touch upon few aspects which are very specific to artificial intelligence and machine learning. So specifically, how software as a medical device is really need to be considered in the era of AI ML, in case of regulations. That point of view I'll try to put. And then what are all the emerging trends, because the guidelines, the regulations, which already I think K K Wagh sir and Sachin sir already discussed, those will be always there. Those we cannot change. Those are already in use. The devices which are getting used, those are getting approved based on that data only. But how this changing scenario, when one software or algorithm will decide or predict something for you, how those regulations are make sure that whatever predictions are happening, those are not biased, those are not affecting the ethics. Okay. And third thing, as I said, they will not make you to think that whatever data they are showing, that is correct. Okay. So that particular part I will discuss, and very important, without challenges, not a single seminar we can complete, because thought process is always required. The food for thought is nothing but challenges, and I think that's why I have also going to cover few of these challenges. Next slide, please. Okay, so if you see, I have put some pictures and there is definition. I will not go definition because all three speakers already covered that definition. Above three devices, we already know they are getting used. First one is sphygmomanometer, second one is diagnostic kit, actually pipetting and everything is happening, and the last one is Rotaler, which is a dosage device getting used in asthma. while the below devices are digital. They are basically just flashing the numbers on their screen, and we are understanding that the BP value is getting appear on that particular screen. So monitoring, diagnosis and treatment, what used to happen earlier with medical device, same thing will happen in AI/ML era also. Nothing will change. What is changing is the way that data is getting generated. So how these monitoring devices are really showing that data or that numbers on the screen, that is really important to understand for all of us. The data which is manually collected earlier, that we have used, we means the technology guys have used to optimize algorithm for all these 3 devices which I have shown here. So whatever historical data, any physician or any mathematician or any pharmacologist, they have used same data, computational scientists also used, and they have developed such an algorithm which will accurately show what you used to see in barometric or mercury device which was earlier in sphygmomanometer. The diagnostic kit was there which we used to put into blood samples, and that blood sample used to show something exactly same way. Now the below device which is digital will do same activity for us. What just difference is the algorithm running behind it. Algorithm, though developed by a computational scientist, but how that algorithm should show the figures that we have trained through AI and ML algorithm. So what is AI ML? Next slide please. So this is AI and ML. So we are trying to make machines to think as we think. Just try to take a step back. When we were child, how we come to know that A for aeroplane, B for ball. We used to see the figure that this A, which is having one shape, that shape has some features, that it has some round, then one line which is slightly, so these are the features, and based on that features our brain used to process that image and try to understand, yeah, this is A, and A adjacent to that whatever aeroplane image was there, that we used to interpret as an aeroplane. Similar kind of thing here, we try to give historical data to computer device. We make it computer readable format sometimes because we all know, I asked your professors, I think smiles you have already learning in your curriculum nowadays, chemical structure getting converted into smiles. So the smiles are nothing but computer readable format of any chemical formula, because computer cannot read your formula, benzene ring and all that stuff. So we have to convert that into computer readable format, and computer readable format of chemical structure is nothing but smile. Similarly, each and every aspect we are converting into medical readable format. We train computer system to interpret it as we interpret. As I explained, A for aeroplane. Similarly, here we give those features, we create those features, and we make computer understand if these features you are observing, then this figure or this structure is nothing but aeroplane or paracetamol or something else. So artificial intelligence is a umbrella term. Machine learning is subdomain under artificial intelligence. So features we generally give to the machine learning algorithm. There are multiple machine learning algorithms which we generally use, which predicts those patterns from the diagram, from the features, whatever we feed to the computer, and based on that, it gives back the results to us. Okay? Any question? Clear? Okay, next slide please. No, our voice is here. Okay. So I think everybody is before me, everyone already covered all the categories, what are all the domains, but still I'll walk you through because we are here on a specific seminar, and when we are here, as Maurya sir said, we are going to invest something. That is our time, and in your case, time is very important. And since I am here, I want you to understand how this industry is really shaping up and how much opportunity we have. Okay? We all know that we are pharmacy students, we all know what we are learning, but what is important is how we can make a space here that we need to understand. We have our basics learning in our curriculum, those only we have to use. We have to define or I'll say we have to extract a problem, we have to define that problem, and that problem is nothing but the solution which you are seeing right now. Okay, that's how the startup industry is getting, they are shaping up their problem areas and they are coming up with their solutions. So in vitro diagnostics are there, which generally used for glucose measurement. Pregnancy test kits are there. In orthopedics, where different joints and everything, those are getting generated. So why I am showing these medtech areas? These are just devices, but in few cases, as Maurya sir said, that these joints, these endoscopic instruments, diabetic care instruments, these are earlier were just instruments, but now they are generating data points for us. Like that.
Some sensors getting fit, and those sensors are sharing the data with the device which is sitting outside somewhere. Similarly, whatever Fitbits or activity meters we are seeing on our hands, those are also working in same way. Whatever figures or numbers are getting captured over here, those are getting transmitted to cloud systems, and on that cloud systems, these data points are getting gathered. Just imagine, in this room itself, more than 50 members are having this digital device on their wrists, and every minute or every second, one data point is getting generated. So how much data points every second is generated through these devices are a very important case study to understand. From this room itself, we have demographic benefit, like female gender is there, male gender is there. We have few members of different age groups. We have members who are having different habits. All that demographics we have, and with that we are generating these many data points. So how we can use these data points for generating very critical insights, not just for physicians, but for drug discovery industry as well. Because we all know, because I think Sachin sir already mentioned about the challenges and all. Every pharma industry is struggling with new targets. How new targets for diseases they can invent. Here you have millions and millions of data points. If you could able to analyze, you can identify those new targets. Second important thing is how you can deliver a developed product at a site of action. So second major important challenge in front of every pharma industry. These devices will really help you to identify those specific details or parameters to how they can optimize those delivery systems. So I'm slightly not agreeing with overall pharma fraternities telling that medical device industry will remain different than medical device industry as such. It's a part of our ecosystem if we will try to find out where we fit in this ecosystem. And it is not like that we are thinking only in that context. Every pharma industry is working in that context, and that's why we have seen some name already over there where Johnson & Johnson is there, investing heavily in this particular space because they are also a niche inventor. They have their products in the market. They want to enhance the life cycle of those products which are already in the market. They want to enhance the efficacy of those particular products. How they can enhance that, how is basically answered through these data points, and that's why this medtech market is need to be understood very clearly. Yeah. Next important aspect is if we are learning, then are we going to get a job or not? Then that particular aspect, I think Maurya sir answered clearly, that not just global industry but Indian government is also heavily investing in this particular area. And if investing is there, then job market will going to have jobs for us. Just we need to make ourselves suitable for that. So we need to think how we can upskill ourselves for that, how we can utilize what we have learned during our academic courses into that particular space. To put some numbers, by 2030, global market is already 3 trillion as per the report published by Statista. And very important aspect is, on this particular area, somebody just mentioned that though mechanical engineer or computer scientist will develop algorithm, but pharmacists understand where to put that stent and all. So that understanding, that critical understanding, we are making 70% healthcare practitioners time free to analyze that data specifically in that particular context, and remaining redundant work like analyzing billions and millions of data points, fetching information from them, making that data standardized, all those redundant things we are making automatic through these algorithms. So if somebody is saying that by AI and algorithm we are going to lose our jobs, then I think we should not accept that, because without physicians and without pharmacologists, nobody can understand or interpret the pharmacologic data. Because after physician, if anybody can interpret physiology, that is the pharmacologist. And that's why I think our job will be critical, though there will be GenAI or though there will be multiple AI algorithms. And exactly same thing happened in my case. I was drug discovery scientist. Now I am doing AI algorithm. I am doing same thing. I am not doing anything else. I am just interpreting this analyzed data and sharing my insights with the global pharmaceuticals. This particular aspect I want to put in context of Indian medical device market. So it was $11 billion in 2023, and it is expected to grow at 15% CAGR, reaching $50 billion by 2030. So how much times growth if you see in 7 years, then I think that itself is explaining that how much opportunities we will be going to have. Okay, so that's fine. What happened till today? If you are saying that everybody is adopting AI/ML, are really people are developing these tools and FDA is approving those tools, then this data will speak about it. If we see this graph, there is significant increase from 2016 in approvals of medical devices which are based on AI and ML. Okay, and if we see the distribution, then radiological instruments are the maximum products which are getting approved during this particular time. Then after immediately the next important therapeutic area is cardiovascular, then hematology, neurology, ophthalmics, and the other is 7%. But 75% radiology is a staggering number. We all use slide reading in our labs. Okay, so we do those sections. We put I don't know right now also we do or not. We used to do those sectioning. We used to do microscopic analysis, and we used to generate some results out of it. That's fine. You people are doing or dealing with only one slide. But in labs, when you have multiple compounds which needs to be studied, at that time you have 96 well plate, and that well plate you need to analyze under a microscope. So that requires lot of efforts for scientists to be focused through 96 well plate, generate insights, and based on that we could take a call that whether we should move forward or not. So I have worked on an interesting project where AI algorithm detect that whale, it extract the interested information for us and analyze that data which we were expected to. But once I was just sitting and I don't have any work. At that time I was just going through those images which I captured during my lab work. One image, I have 96 images. Just imagine, one image, one concentration. I used to generate 1400 different parameters from that images. So I could able to analyze that particular data not just by 360 degree of view, but I could able to understand multiple things through this kind of images. So that's why these radiological, pathological or any other images which are getting generated, if you want to read those through AI/ML kind of thing, that will significantly reduce the efforts what right now the pathologist or any pharmacologist are putting in reading those slides. Okay, so we understood that people are developing medical devices with AI/ML algorithm. We did understand that there are some approved instruments also, and there is staggering number of increase in number of approvals. Then it is very important to mitigate the risk, and for that we need AI/ML algorithm. Naga sir already talked about cyber security threats, malicious misuse. So cyber security threat is something which is widely getting discussed for US market, European market. But it is not like that. In India also nowadays people are taking this particular thing very seriously, because whenever you are trying to extract data from any medical system or any patient related data, we are not accessible to that particular data. If you know Aadhaar number which we used to get, that Aadhaar number is linked to our medical data also. And now that number as such is not visible to third person. The virtual number is getting generated, and that virtual number is visible to someone as a third party. So similar kind of efforts everybody is putting to make sure that your personal data is safe and nobody is exploiting that information for any other use. If I say malicious use means what? In US, these consulting companies like where me and Sachin is working, we do analysis of insurance claims data, and insurance claims data includes not just the billing information. Billing information means how much patient is paying and what kind of prescription are getting generated, but along with that it's genomic information, genetic information, its social behavior, everything is getting captured, and that information is getting used by insurance companies to tweak their insurance premiums, and that recently caused by US authorities, and they have stopped sharing the personal information of any patient. We can have the functional data points, but personal data points we never receive from this data system. So this kind of malicious use or cyber security threats people are facing, and that's why this regulatory framework, every country is enforcing. Then I already said that many people are developing these algorithms, people are coming up with their own version of solution for similar kind of problem. But while doing so, everyone needs to be rest assured that their algorithm is not biased. They are not making someone to forcefully take any decision. So that kind of transparency and fairness should be there. Because earlier these ML models were not explanatory, self-explanatory. Those are, you must have heard black box models. So these models we could not explain, and that's why whatever prediction these models used to predict, we could not able to explain them. But now there are some statistical methods which we incorporated, because of which fairness and transparency we could able to include. Every data, whatever getting generated, that should be universally valid, and that's why data standardization and how to handle that particular data, that framework needs to be put in place. Because if we are collecting that data and we intend to use it for benefit of any human, so it should be in a format where everybody can access it, and that's why the standardization and the guidelines were enforced by these organizations, regulatory organizations, and based on that only this data is getting standardized. Then assurance and reliability as well as safety of this particular instruments or software or algorithm needs to be taken care of. So these guidelines, how to use it, as somebody also mentioned about terms and conditions. Then what are all the challenges if we will be using these algorithms. All this information we need to clearly mention in those documentation. Documentation part across the medical device systems will remain same. So I will not go in those details, because initial two top speakers already covered that part, that we need to classify that. Then we need to do specific CTD documentation and all that stuff. So remaining things will remain same. But why in AI algorithm or in any software related thing, what extra care we need to take, only that part I'll focus more in my topic, in my discussion. So this classification you guys already seen, so as I said, I'll not go in detail. Higher the risk, stricter the regulatory requirement. This classification is to just make things simpler for authorities as well as document makers to follow specific documents. And these documents, though varying, the documentation varies from country to country, but classification overall remains same. So that's why this is the basic foundational framework which you guys should remember if you want to make a career in this particular area. Then these are specific regulatory bodies which are scattered across the world. In India, CDSCO is there. The Device Act, which Sachin sir already covered, that is to 2017. And Drug Cosmetics Acts 1940, these two acts are there. Apart from that, government is very serious about medical device, and that's why government came up with National Medical Device Policy 2023. Under that policy only, government approved 86,000 crore rupees for new innovations, as well as if somebody wants to set up a production plant, the government is giving complete aid for that. So all that information you will find on that policy which is launched in 2023. Then US FDA framework is quite stringent, and I have also worked on a few of my projects on this particular guidelines only. I think this one also Ketan sir and Sachin sir already covered. In EU we have EMEA, and here also MDR 2017 CE marking requirements. All that stuff I think we already learned from Ketan sir in detail. There are Japan, China, and apart from that there are global standards like ISO and IEC organizations. Okay, So that's fine. There are some emerging trends which we need to be understand upfront, because AI algorithms are dynamic. If you see, everybody knew ChatGPT is getting launched. ChatGPT is trade name, but the technology running behind it, like OpenAI, DeepSeek, that is getting advanced every day. Every day, new someone is coming up and they are launching their own OpenAI model. So, if that is the case, then whatever regulations we have, the regulatory framework should be flexible enough to accommodate this dynamic nature of this AI ML algorithm. And government is, FD is actually working on it, that how they can accommodate these kind of things. In fact, FDA has proposed software as a medical device framework also, and that we'll see in a subsequent slide. Then personalized and 3D printed medical device. So we all know personalized medicines are a topic of discussion nowadays, and we are trying to make a personalized medicine so that we can reduce the toxicities and increase the safety for the patients. So by this particular device, these personalized and 3D printed medical devices are getting launched, which are specific to any specific particular person, and for him only those devices are customized. But how they are covered under regulation, that framework is not yet clear. So government is again working on this particular framework, and they will come up very shortly on this particular thing. Wearable and digital health technologies. So we all know real-time patient monitoring and every other aspect, as I just said, that wristwatches and everything, whatever we are using. But how that data is getting handled, that nobody knows. Once we purchase activity meter and we download any app, from that app where data goes, how they are using that data, nothing clarity is there. So that clarity somebody needs to put, and there should be some authority who is taking care of nobody is misusing this data for their commercial purpose. Cybersecurity and data privacy regulations. So as I have already explained, the medical data, the patient level information is always masked, and only functional information is getting shared, which we can use for our learning purpose or any insight generation for the academic side. And harmonization of global regulatory framework. So each country is coming up their own guidelines, their own standards, so that will not help. So there should be harmonization across the world, so that it will be easy for not just the innovator who is filing for the approval, but for the user, because right now there are 10 options, and which option is actually getting approved by which authority, that we don't know. So if we have to file a complaint, then which authority we should consider, that we don't know. So for that, harmonization is very much required, and which is also getting considered right now via various regulatory authorities already across the world. Okay? Any questions? Any thoughts? Yeah. Sorry? Right now, if you will find there will not be any specific specializations for them, but if you really want to do career in this particular space, then there are few courses in IITs or BITS level. So they are specifically training for how to design these devices, how to design a solution. When I am saying solution means the algorithmic solution for these devices. And if third and very important aspect is how to get approved these things from the regulations. Because solutions are coming up, but how to put that solutions in the market, that is the real challenge the innovators are facing. So on these three areas, government is right now focusing, and there are some courses on IITs and few of the BITs. But if you want to continue, you can continue to read apart from what you are learning in your curriculum. and you have to find out which specific part is linked to what you want to do, and that's how you can plan your movement towards that particular slide. Anyone else? Okay. So there are multiple approaches and pathways we already discussed in our we have already learned from our previous speakers. So these are the few approaches which are very specific to AI/ML algorithms. Like as I already said, that software as a medical device framework already FDA or these regulatory authorities are considering, and more or less they are handling this particular case in similar way as medical devices are getting handled. So if that device is invasive, non-invasive, risky or not risky, based on that algorithms which are running in those systems, those are also getting categorized, and based on that their documentation needs to be done. If there are any changes, as I said, these algorithms are dynamic. These are continuously getting upgraded, and the data behind it is getting changed. So how we can establish a predetermined change control, that particular framework also government already set up. And good machine learning practices. So every machine learning algorithm which is there in the field right now, they are claiming that whatever predictions they are doing, those predictions are 98%, 99% accurate. But how we can make sure that those predictions, though they are 90% or 99% accurate, those are safe for me, or those are reliably I can consider for any diagnosis or any practical usage. So whatever algorithms we are developing, or what kind of data we are putting in, behind it, proper documentation should be there. So what kind of documentation? I'll just give an example. There are 50 million, I have developed a system which predicts the toxicity of new chemical entity. So in that model I have used 18,000 data points from almost 21,000 different chemical molecules. So what are those 18,000? From those, did I use all 18,000 data points for developing my AI/ML algorithm? No. Then how many I have used? How I have arrived from 18,000 to those final 3,000 or 4,000 data points I have used for that prediction. So all that documentation will really explain that how I have developed this particular tool or this algorithm, and how this algorithm is really practically viable to use in the market. So documentation should be rather enough to explain that whatever tool or an algorithm I have developed, that is really making reliable in the practical world. So that's our third important point, is good machine learning practices. So documentation and explainability should be there. And last and very important aspect is quality of data, the validation of model and the performance monitoring. On the go, these models are getting upgraded or dynamically changes. So data which is getting feed into those models, what is the quality of the data, what are the KPIs we need to monitor, all those aspects we need to keep in consideration, and based on that we need to perform our documentation. Okay, so these pathways, I think I'll not go in detail because you guys already know what is de novo pathway, what is 510K, and what is pre-market approval. And future challenges, so adaptive regulatory framework we are expecting from the authorities, so that every innovator can put transparently and decision making in front of authority, so that authority can give approvals for these algorithms. Most of the devices will remaining same, but the algorithm running behind those devices are dynamically changing, and that's why this regulation is very important, and everybody is thinking on it. Managing post-marketing surveillance and real-world evidence. So if on the go these devices are recording the data, so can't we use these data points for ensuring the safety of launching our new algorithm? So this electronic health records or variable generated data can't be used for surveillance. And these global organizations are really following up with the FDA that they should agree on using these electronically generated records as well as wearable device data to get for getting the approvals, ensuring compliance with the cybersecurity standards. So, though these things are getting stringent day by day, but the actual innovator who need the data, who actually seek the data, he is not getting data because of that. So, how the innovator can get access to that data, that also needs to be considered. Of course, innovator is ready to sign the papers. They are ready to give the assurance that they will not misuse that data. But still, few of this patient information is not accessible to AI startups or new companies. So, authorities should think how we can access that data to the purpose of human benefits only. Balancing the innovation and patient safety. Yeah, as I said, pharma companies or startup organizations, they are asking these data points for their use. But what they are doing, they are selling these data points to third parties, because data is a new oil, everybody knows. And if I am purchasing that data and I am selling it to someone else, they can bridge that data and they can generate more actionable insights out of it. So that should not happen, and that's where this fourth point is important, how that balance can be introduced, that authorities as well as this ecosystem, means startup ecosystem, needs to be considered. And regulatory uncertainty and evolving policies. So rapidly these laws, the government, we all know government changes, the laws changes. Similarly, the expectations from the regulatory authorities also changes when they face any new challenges. So these some stability in those regulatory changes should be there, because whenever we are developing any instrument or any algorithm, we keep in our mind what regulatory framework already in place. But most of the time, what happens when we do documentation on previous framework, the authority will come up with new regulations or some new annexures to that particular laws or regulations. So that is posing some challenges in front of this startup ecosystem or the organization. So that is also need to be taken care of. Yeah. So this is the final slide from my side, but as I have already said, artificial intelligence is not a substitute for human intelligence. It's a tool to amplify human creativity and ingenuity. Questions?
Thinking about any kind of idea that they can work, kind of thing, taking AI, because last year in one seminar, one student came across me and he really did a wonderful job. He presented one poster in Avishkar recently in Pune, and that person is from Latur. No thoughts? Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, sir, for the informative session which included the emerging trends and future challenges in the field of medical devices and precise explanation of role of AI and machine learning in regulatory framework. Thank you so much. It was really a great session to attend. Now I request Dr. D.D. Patil sir to please offer Dr. Amit Patil sir with a token and a small gift as a token of our gratitude. Okay, as we have concluded with our third session. presentation. Now we are going to proceed with oral presentations.